Everybody, I'm going to share with you the first 5 fragrances I had when I started my fragrance journey last year and whether or not I still find them to be worth it. Like, do I think I made a good decision with these fragrances? 3 of them I blind bought, 1 of them was a gift, and the other one I smelled at Sephora first, and then that night I was like, I have to buy this. It's so good. So the very first one was Versace Arrows. I no longer have it in my collection. I gave it to my younger cousin. And for me, when I blind bought Arrows, I saw a lot about it online and I was like, oh, mint, apple, vanilla, that sounds so good. It sounds intoxicating, right? And I did like the fragrance. It's definitely really, really nice, but it wasn't so much me. Like, I didn't really feel a connection with the scent. It was a nice one, but I felt kind of so-so about wearing it personally. But I would definitely still recommend Versace Arrows for anybody interested in starting their fragrance collections or just getting a fragrance in general. You want something for just clubbing, dates, something really sexy, loud. You want an obnoxious party fragrance. That is so perfect. It's very mass appealing and it's a long-lasting scent as well. That one did get me a ton of compliments when I wore it. So it definitely served its purpose for being my first blind bought fragrance. The next scent was Nuit De Lhomme. This is a very obvious answer of whether or not I think it's still worth it. Absolutely. You still hear me talk about this fragrance till this day. And I don't think that would ever change, to be real with you, because yes, this is a good starter fragrance for people also looking for a sexy scent. This one's more intimate than Versace Arrows. Definitely not obnoxious, but the sex appeal is just like, I called this before an orgasm in a bottle because it truly is. But this was the first fragrance I wore that I blind bought this one as well, where I was like, oh shit, I love this on me. So this was a scent that, like, you know, that connection was there with La Nuit De L'Homme, and I wore it all the time. It was my signature scent. Everybody loved it on me, guys, girls, whatever. It just worked really, really well with the weather as well. Even though people say this is a sweet fragrance, I definitely got more of the fresh aspect with this scent. Like, the cardamom added just the right amount of spice, the right amount of freshness, and this was never too sweet on me at all. It leaned more fresh than sweet, which was really interesting. So the third fragrance, so yes, I would still recommend this and I would still wear this. So with Versace Arrows, I would recommend it, but I would no longer wear it. Dolce Gabbana Light Blue Intense. This was a gift. Shout out Keegs. He gave this to me over Christmas, and I still love this scent. To me, this is still my favorite standard designer fragrance for the summertime. Like, out of all the fragrances here when it comes to summer, like, this is the one that I would recommend and that I reach for a lot. And even though this is the women's bottle, I honestly recommend this to everybody. It doesn't matter if you're the most masculine person on the planet. The men's Light Blue Intense, to me, lacks the sexiness that the women's has. Like, this is a very unisex fragrance, but the masculine one kind of smells like your typical fresh out of the shower. Like, it smells like shower gel, kind of like a Ralph Lauren polo fragrance. And that's why I just found it to be something I'm like, okay, yeah, I've smelled that on so many people before. It's a very common scent. But the women's has this sort of seductive take, even though it's just lemon, apple, musk. Very simple type of fragrance, but still, this pulled me a ton of compliments, especially in the summertime. Whenever I wore this, I always got a compliment. Always, always, always. But I never wore this one for compliments. I don't really wear any of my fragrances for compliments. I'll wear them just to see how I like them and how the performance is. And if other people compliment me on them, then I'll take note of it. And then I make videos of these are my most complimented. But Light Blue Intense still has a very special place in my heart. You know that Elysium is the top of the top right now when it comes to fresh fragrances for me to wear, but that's on the niche side. But I do love Light Blue Intense, and I recommend it for anybody looking for an easy to like summer fragrance that's just getting started. I'm very glad that I had this in the rotation when I was a newbie. I'm still a newbie, to be totally honest with you. Number 3, by the Fireplace by Maison Margiela. So this is a fragrance that I smelled at Sephora, And immediately I was blown away with the scent. I was like, holy shit, I've never smelled anything that smells like fire, that smells like burning wood. And I didn't spray it on my clothes or on my skin or anything like that. The associate sprayed it in the air, but then some of the juice landed on this part of my sweater. So when I got home, like I actually asked them, I'm like, do you have a bottle out back? Like, I will buy it. And they didn't. So I got home, I put my sweater to the side, and then the rest of the night I kept coming back to that sweater. I was like, oh my God, it smells so good. And the dry down was totally different from the opening. It smelled like s'mores. And I got this maybe around the first week of January 2021. I was like, holy shit, this smells so good. I loved it a lot. So I went on Nordstrom's website and I bought it online. And that's how I ended up with this fragrance. So for me, this isn't so much a fragrance I wear anymore, just because there's been other sweet scents that have taken its place. But it's one of those fragrances that when I smell it again, I have to wear it for the next 3 days because I just fall back in love with it. You know, it's just one of those scents that I'll spray it in the air and then I'm like, you know what, let me just put this on my sheets. And this one also pulled a ton of compliments. Always, it always did. I have a lot of memories associated with this fragrance. I can't really smell it from here anymore because it's been a while since I've actually sprayed it in the air. But yeah, whenever I have people over or whenever I'm wearing this fragrance in general, I always get commented or people always comment on it. So this is like another thing I like about this fragrance is you can easily layer it with other things. I think it serves as a great base. And if you want to add something that's a bit boozy, you can throw Side Effect on top of it or even Jazz Club from the same line. Both of these would smell fantastic together. And the performance is insane with this fragrance alone. I smelled this easily past 10 hours on me. When I sprayed this before I went to bed because I tested it out, the next night when I went back in my sheets, it totally sprayed, like it still smelled like this, like very prominently. So by the Fireplace, I love it. Don't wear it much anymore, but for me, do I recommend this fragrance? I think if you're somebody that wants something bold, you want something polarizing, but you're still new, okay, you're looking for something sweet, bold, polarizing, and you're new to the game, what can you grab for? I think that this would be a unique take, okay? If you don't want like the Coco Mademoiselle, or you don't want the Stronger With You, the Ultra Male, anything like that, this one is definitely unique. It's a fragrance that you cannot compare to anything else. I mean, yeah, with a Fireplace, but it's not like, oh, that smells like this one fragrance. It's very like unique in of itself. No way you can confuse it. So by the Fireplace, love you. And lastly, we got Club de Nuit Intense Woman, and I blind bought this fragrance on Amazon. I was shopping on Amazon and I saw the bottle and it was like $22, maybe $25. I'm like, holy shit, that bottle looks nice. And it was definitely like something I indulged in very fast. Like I was like, let me just buy it. It's cheapy. And I did not know the notes of this fragrance. I didn't know anything about it. I did not look it up. I just bought it. And then when it came to the house, I sprayed it and I was smelling it. And then I saw people's opinions and reviews online for it. And apparently this is a dupe of Tom Ford's Noir de Noir. Now, does it smell exactly like it? Absolutely not. I do see some similarities in the opening, but it's very obvious that they do not smell the same. I don't think you can interchange those fragrances at all. You would very much tell, like, if you were wearing this and you told people, I'm wearing Noir de Noir, I don't think you'd be able to pull that off because this is very heavy on the rose, on the geranium, whereas Noir de Noir, it has this really luxurious dark chocolate sort of feel, and the rose is more fresh. On some people, I actually got DMs and comments back from people that blind bought this. A lot of them actually liked it. Most people liked it, but some girls said that, like this girl said somebody called her, or at her work, they said she smelled like a funeral home. So I'm like, holy shit, yeah, I could see why you would toss the bottle after hearing that comment. But nonetheless, I do like this fragrance, but I no longer recommend it anymore. I think for its performance and its price, it totally does the job, but it does not smell like Noir de Noir. I don't find this to be a very chocolatey fragrance. I think if you like saffron, you like rose and geranium, then I would recommend this scent. Absolutely. And on top of that, this is a unisex fragrance. I know it says like women on it, but Noir de Noir is a unisex fragrance. And to me, I find this to be a unisex scent as well. Leans a little bit more feminine, but I don't think anybody would just like get on your ass and be like, no, you're wearing a woman's thing, blah, 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 because anybody can pull this off. But yeah, this is also one that is very versatile. So I've worn it when it was hot outside. I've worn it at night for any sort of event, and it's worked for everything. So this is a great starting fragrance if you're looking for more on the rose side of things for a very like affordable price and performance. Anyways, that's it. That's it. Thanks for watching. Let me know what your first fragrances were let me know what your first fragrances were. And I'll see you in the next video. All right? Bye.